Hello. It is Sunday, the 6th of April, and at 8:46 BST, we go into gate 51, line 4. This is called limitation, and this is the fourth line who has a pure inventiveness and sometimes genius to find some opportunity even in the midst of the most devastating shocks. The warrior ego that will find some way to answer the challenge. So the fourth line, looking for its opportunities, and this is a fourth line individual with a fixed nature. Remember, the fourth line can be very fixed, and they are determined to externalize their competitive capacity and their ability to leap into the void. They can be very persistent. They can be very influential. And also the missionary keynote that we get with the line 4, that can be a thing here as well, that fixedness of like, come with me, come with me. I will lead you across the void into initiation. Come with me. So that fourth line, there's quite a responsibility when you have that kind of influence over people to be correct, isn't there, really? So this line, limitation. And it's the very fixedness of the fourth line here that can be its limitation. In the duality of this world, we have the fixedness of the fourth line that also can be unstable. Fixedness can be an instability because they're quite powerful. They have that influential nature. They have that networking strength, strength in numbers when it comes to your network. And yet that can be taken away. And when we have the 51-4, we have someone who has a kind of make-do mentality, and that works beautifully most of the time. But when something like a severe shock comes along, it can be totally ineffectual. Severe shock will cause this fourth line to withdraw. And this is very interesting when you listen to how these lines are all unfolding, because this is the fourth time that the word withdrawal has been mentioned in this process. And it's unusual to see it. I mean, you might associate withdrawal with the second line, but it was been in the 1, the 2, the 3, and now in the 4. So we have here a superficial ego that lacks the resources and depth to answer challenges. It just can't do it. It can't raise itself to the opportunity. It pulls away, it withdraws. Ra says that so much about courage and bravery comes from experience. You've been through this experience before, and so you know what to expect. But the superficial ego, it doesn't know what it's meeting, and so it runs away. Well, we have bravery, we have cowardice. But is it really cowardice to run away from a challenge when you don't know whether you're going to survive the shock of meeting it? Or maybe that is actually bravery. The 57-4 is called the director. And this is the possible intuitive clarity to master relationships. The relationship that this particular line 4 is looking to master is the one that will help it to manifest its knowing. Because in a way, what use is having the knowing if nobody else knows that you have the knowing? There is that thing of like all the energy wants to get to the throat, and the throat there symbolizes manifestation, expression, communication. The particular relationship that's going to help this fourth line manifest its knowing is going to be in gate 20, because 20 is in the throat. And remember, we said yesterday that the 57 is looking at 3 other different gates, the 3 possibilities of a channel. It's a complex gate. All of integration has this possibility. So 3 possibilities to make a channel. So we're looking at the sacral to 34, we're looking to the G center in the 10, and then the throat for manifestation in the 20, which is where this would be its favorite relationship to try and master. Now, there can be a controlling side to this line, because with their gift of clarity, they can dictate the terms of the connection, or maybe direct the terms of the connection, seeing this is the director. but they can insist on the right timing for the manifestation or the most acceptable behavior that is going to control access to their intuitive knowing, just using the keynotes of the different gates. They can tell other people what to do in order that they themselves can survive. We're going to do this now. We're going to do this if you behave this way. Then I will share my intuitive knowing with you. And this is our fourth line with the intuition, to be able to stay alive, but doing it through a need for others. All fourth lines have this need for others. We've been seeing it in the continuity all the way through. You know, they're very fixed on the relationship that's going to keep them alive. They're fixed on it, being able to deal with their fear of tomorrow, which is the fear of the 57th gate. And they do this by intuitively recognizing how to handle their relationships with others to give them the best possibility of survival. So this is, by its very nature, selfish. You know, integration is selfish. It is designed to be selfish. And this fourth line, the director, this has the intuitive capacity to work with people in order to be able to survive in the now. So both the Sun and the Earth transit here are highlighting the fixed nature of the fourth line. You know, it's that individuality can really bring out that fixed nature as well. It's that I'm in this for myself kind of thing. And it shows the strategies that they have for navigating challenges and relationships in order to ensure survival and success. So the moon, let's have a look at the moon. It goes into gate 25 at 9:37. And this is the cool, impersonal love in gate 25. It's in the G center. It's the gate of innocence, the gate of the spirit. It embodies the unconditional flow of love to all things equally. And it comes, really, that love of everything comes through complete surrender to one's own self. We have the channel of initiation here between the 25 and the 51 with the North Node and the Sun in gate 51. So, and also Venus has been transiting into the 25 for a little while. So this is quite, you know, this channel of initiation is very well defined for us at the moment. Gate 17, the gate of opinions, that is activated from 1835 through the moon. And this is in the Ajna, and this is that understanding of how things work, wanting to base opinions on something logical, something that will put to rest some fears for the future, something that will help it to spot the pattern and bring it to the collective as something that has real value. And the 21. And this is actually, again, tomorrow morning, but it's an early one. So depending where you live, you might wake up with this energy. It's an ego energy. No, we've only just come out of it in the Sun, so we're quite well aware of the gate 21 and all of its themes of control and the strong force on the material plane that needs to be responsible and in control of its own resources. So whether that expresses as where it lives or what it eats or what it wears. So how will you experience these forces today? This is a personal journey. So where will your focus be? The moon brings us a particular focus. Have you experienced unconditional love? Do you ever feel a need to really control your own environment, especially when the 21 is active in the transit? If you have any comments, if you would like to share any of your experiences, please do. I'll leave something in the comment box below, and I would very much like to read what it is that you feel or that you see in your environment as we go through these transits. I will be back tomorrow with the line 5, and until then, go gently, and thank you for watching.